Ancient Roman public works architecture. Many types of public works projects went on by the Roman government back in the day, in the ancient times. Some of these public works projects included the building of bridges, roads, and aqueducts, things the Roman people used every day, along with some other special buildings, such as the Colosseum, used on special occasions for fights and whatnot. But the bridges, roads, and aqueducts were used every day by the Roman people while they were being constructed and after in their use. The bridges I have pictured here are some of the most famous bridges built in all of ancient Rome. The top image on the right shows Trajan's Bridge, which is the longest of all ancient Roman bridges, measuring 3,724 feet in length. And you should note the use of repetitive arches in the construction of it, used for structural integrity. The bottom right image is of Ponte Milvio, which is another very famous bridge. Measures a little over 400 feet in length and is built over the Tiber River. Some very famous roads built in ancient Rome are the Via Taberna, pictured in the top two images, which measures approximately 200 kilometers in length. You can see with all the cobblestone-looking structures on the right, and also on the top left there's a map showing the expansiveness of this road. On the bottom, there's another picture. It looks very similar to the Via Taberna, but is the Via Latina, also measures approximately 200 kilometers in length, and it was built in ancient Roman times. The composition of the roads built back then is actually quite complex for the time. First, the earth would be leveled at the area the road was going to be built in. Then a layer of compacted sand or dirt was put in, followed by gravel and cement, which the ancient Romans actually seemed to invent. Then a level of cemented sand and gravel. Then some large stone slabs in which the people would actually walk on, or their horses and whatnot, along with two parallel drainage ditches to either side, allowing for runoff to get off of the road and drain off easier. This aqueduct I have pictured here is by far the most famous of all ancient Roman aqueducts. This is the bridge section of the Pont du Gard aqueduct. It's located in modern-day France, although that was a part of the Roman Empire at the time of its construction. It measures a staggering 902 feet in length. Just this section pictured, the bridge section. The rest of the aqueduct runs further than that. Some feats of ancient engineering that the Romans had to come up with for bridges was definitely the arch. The arch allowed for much greater structural integrity because, as opposed to having just a bunch of columns spread around for pressure to dig into from the weight of the bridge, the column would actually spread them very equally. For roads, the leveling of the earth was a huge factor to make the roads easy to walk on, easy to ride on, along with the invention of cement and the layers used in the building of the roads. In aqueducts, once again, the arch, vitally important to the construction of them. Without the arch, I don't believe the aqueducts and bridges could have actually stood the test of time that they have. For aqueducts also, precise mathematical calculations had to be used to determine the angle of depression for the aqueduct to actually ride along. These calculations had to be determined over very large lengths, getting from the runoff site where the water was collected all the way down into the Roman cities. These public works projects were completed many times by privately owned, not necessarily companies, but privately owned groups of laborers paid for by the Roman government. All the while, sometimes soldiers actually did help in the construction, and sometimes, although not that often, slaves were used in the process.